Hello YouTube, and welcome to another random app thing review kind of show you to use thing. But yeah, if you're from my Unity series, I've probably told you to come over here to have a look at it because it's a really good app I found on the internet. And what it basically is a terrain generator. And if you don't know what that is, basically you input some details, some stuff what you want, then it creates you a large land. And the one I found was the first one was called Large 3D Terrain Generator, L3TD. Well, DT. I didn't actually Google that, I just Googled Terrain Generator and it popped up. But it was good. So if you go to this website, I've been using it and it's actually really, really good. It's not 100% perfect, like you have to do some modifications manually, but it is really, really good for what it does. So you got a basic site. I'm not going to show you images because I'm going to show you it anyway. So if you just click downloads and you've got professional edition, it does give you some extra features. You might want it if you're planning to sell your game, but I'm not going to, so I'm just going to use standard edition because it doesn't put copyright marks or anything on it. So right there, just click download up there. It is Windows only, I'm afraid, for now, so try and get an emulator or something. Maybe the professional edition has Macs and everything, Linux, I'm not sure, but Windows only. The one I create in my Unity series I'll upload for everyone else to get anyway. So once you download it, you will get the app here. Just install it. It's really, really small. So if you boot it up, you get basically this. So it'll begin to install everything. Well, not install, just get ready. And when you first start, you'll be popped up with a tutorial screen. I do suggest you follow it. It will probably explain more in depth what I'm going to, but it's really easy to do. I can even turn it back on myself if I just click that look. As you can see, there's tutorial, so cancel. I don't want that. Yeah, so really, really good app. I'm not ending it. I'm going to show you. But if you go File and then New Project, you can choose. You get some to choose from. The tutorial says designable map. I've not actually chose any others, so I'm just going to go with that. Then you get the width of your map. Now for time, I'm just going to put a 512 by 512. But the one I'm about to show you after this is a demo. I went full blast 248 to 2048. Because it's the biggest one you can get. Now horizontal scale, this is the mounting size. The tutorial recommends 1 because it's what most FPS players do, but I chose 10 for mine, so I'm going to choose 10. I'm going to choose 4. I don't know, but 10 was for a 2048 map, so 4 is a bit even. Everything else you don't really need to know. Split into tiles, what that'll do is it'll basically split your map. Say you've got a 2048 map, it'll split it up into however maps you say, so it's easier for importing and everything, but you can just cut it up in a 3D program if you're going to edit it anyway. So I always leave that off. Now design map size, this is basically how big your texture is going to be and your height map and everything, so how detailed it is. I chose 128, best amount really. In fact, so just choose the highest one. But what this basically does is it makes your map up of squares. So if you were to choose 16, your entire map will be 16 by 16, and each square will be made up of 32 pixels. Whereas if you choose 128, you get more in the professional edition. It's 128 by 128 with 4 pixels in, so it's kind of better quality if you wish, so you want to go for that. It does recommend to stick at 64, 128, come on, we're all badasses. So you click next, and then you get this stuff, which is the map properties if you wish. So the altitude is how high it is, so is it more sea, is it more land? We want more land, so we're just putting near land. Altitude range, is it flat or steep? We want it mostly flat. Scale of features, this is how good the mountains are, how many mountains and stuff like that as. So I want middle-ish. Noise strength, I'm not 100% sure. I did look at this, but I kind of forgot it, so just keep them the same. Cliffs and terraces, do you have cliffs coming off your mountains and everything? So we'll just say hardly any. Erosion, this is like, do you want texturing near your water so it looks like it's been eating it away? So we'll just say medium. Well, there. Lakes, do you want like water pools? So we'll say a couple, yeah. Climate is which one do you want? I'm guessing you get more in the proper one, but you've got like Mars and everything. You can see the difference. I'm going to go with Arctic, so I've not actually seen Arctic myself yet. So we'll click next, and then you get all these options. Now the tutorial tells you to keep it like that and press next, but then it just tells you to come back to it, so it's a bit pointless. So I'm just going to take everything on, absolutely everything, and click next. Water flooding, the tutorial skips it, but basically what this will do is you can choose the height of your water. So we'll just say 0.1, so we'll lift it up a little bit. Is it a lake or is it seawater? It'll probably change the colour. But you can all play with all them. If you do want it, just click online help. It does give really good help out, if I can find it here. It's really good help. Like clear exiting WM there will exit water on the prior to the flooding. Just read it and understand it, because I didn't understand what I said. So if we just click next, you get more water stuff. You can go into making these better if you like, but I'm going to skip it. You've got the direction of the sun. Now since this map's most likely going to be used for a game, I've simply put the sun at the top, like there, like 0, and then 60, just like 0 and 90 them, so it's right on top, so when the light does move you won't see much of a difference. So if we click next, this is basically all for your light again, light mapping. It's basically which bits shine and which bits don't, so if you like have a little ore or something, or like grass will shine, shimmer a little bits in compared to dirt kind of thing. So you can mess with those if you like it, you just tick on what you want there and everything. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to mess with that as well. That's what colours you want some of the stuff to be. Texture settings, this is for where you literally play with your texture. So sometimes you may want anti-aliasing on, which stops crackling around the edges. You can turn it up if you like. Use a light map, you can actually turn it off if you like, but I'm keeping it on. It might be good if we can find how to put it in Unity too. But if we click OK, it'll generate it and you'll see it'll do all this wacky stuff. But then when it's done, it's actually really good because it shows you it in 2D and you think, well, that's okay. Then you click your 3D button and you can actually zoom around it in 3D. It's really good. Then you can export it to a couple of different formats. It's really helpful. And as you can see, we've got quite a wacky one today. Mine didn't look nothing like this when I did it earlier. You'll see mine in a minute, but it like had this snowy bit there, but up here, and then no other snow. So this was a good one. I like this one. But as you can see, it's completely different every time. Well, you can't see, but you will in a minute. But at the top, you've got new tabs. Texture map is basically what is going to be textured like. And it's really good. Oh, I didn't know you could zoom in. It looks terrible there, but when you zoom in, it actually looks a lot better. Specular light map, if you've ever known what this is which parts of it light up and everything. And light map, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it pretty much does the same thing, but in more, well, less detail. Terrain normals, this is basically your bump map. It shows you, it gives you extra crisp detail, which is an illusion. Water map shows you which water, basically where's your water going to go. Easy enough. And design map is actually a cool one because, yeah, we've got like 16 by 16. You can actually edit it. So if we go to like right click, tools, and edit active layer map, you can actually begin editing things. And obviously if you have a bigger map it looks far better, but as you can see, if I were to say grab peak rough and then drag it up a bit and then click this one, you can see it changes colour slightly. See if we can, there we go, changing colours ever so slightly. Let's try erosion, drag it up max, click, alright, it's not doing it. I need to find one what does it. Lakes, that should do it. Click this brown one, it turns to blue, there we go. And level 60, as you can see, you can manually change it. And it will update it, as you can see, we now have water there. Kind of, I think that's right. But anyway, if we want to view it in 3D, you've got this mini toolbar at the top, and right at the edge, you've got view in 3D, it just says 3D. You click it, and it'll load, and it'll say, boom. It's not animated, it's standard, but as you can see, it's lagging a little bit because of the recorder. This is a 512 by 512 map. Now imagine the size of a 2001. So yeah, so we can look around, and there is a way to actually make it like jump places. I can't remember how to do it. Walk, there we are. Here, we can make him walk around. You can walk around on your map, as you can see, and you can look, you literally walk around on a map. It's actually really good. I'm surprised it's not built in Unity, to be honest, but you can go in the water, and you can just keep clicking turbo mode and everything. But yeah, if you press escape it goes. But so it's really good. So easy way to export it is was messing with my mind and it was right in front of me. If you go file export, it doesn't say export to 3D, and that was what's got me. Export optimize mesh. Mesh is a 3D thing. Click that and it exports it. Like that, I've got mine there and tutorial, so I saved the tutorial one. So you export it, and I never actually showed you the things you can export to. But you've got 3ds, which I did, OBJ, which I'll export for Unity and everything, and you can just do different ones. So my recommendation is that if you do multiple ones of these, and then you just create a big map of it, you can go into 3D and just like attach them together, like stitch them. It looks really good. But for those of you who wants to see what it looks like in Unity, that's what it looks like. No, I'm kidding, I didn't do that. This is mine. Turn the light off. As you can see, it is huge. And I didn't have to mess with the import settings either. It came default with it. As you can see. But that is mine, what I got earlier. So as you can see, it's got snowy mountains. And I've already placed the character on. The thing is, when you zoom in, it looks really bad on here, but not in there. And because you have to mess with the normals on here when exporting it. But if you just take it into 3ds Max and just like turbo smooth it, it'll fix those seams. So yeah, as you can see, my character is that big. This is the size of the map. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be using this if I can get some really good results out of it. Because it's even textured too, that's the thing we couldn't do. But as you can see, I don't want the tutorial. You can just see everything, you can walk around it. I had to generate colliders to do it. But yeah, I moved tiny distance. And I put a light above it just to make it look better. And as you can see, if I grab my directional light, and then just bring it over, that one, it reacts with the shadows quite well, if you rotate it correctly, of course. So like the shadows of this side now, and then I put it back over, shadows of this side. It works really well, and it's a really good app to use. So maybe you could texture it better yourself, up to you. I'm terrible at it, but you can get different ones every single time. It's really good. If I go back to hover mode, okay, it's not letting me hover. Never mind. But yeah, I'm dead now. It's really good thing. You've got wire mode as well. Ooh, Tron. But yeah, thank you for watching. I really hope you liked it. If you did like it, there's a link in the description. I thoroughly suggest trying it out. If you're on Mac again, I apologise you can't try this. I know quite a few Unity developers use Mac. But hey, you'll get better. Ooh, turbo mode. But yeah, I'm still exploring it myself and I will be using it. As far as Make Human goes, for those of you who are interested in that, there's a chance I might not be using it for it because it's not very well supported by 3ds Max yet. Unless there's a new updated version, I do need to update it and I'll have a look. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Please thumbs up. Everything's down in the description. Hit me up on Facebook or Twitter. Thumbs up again, please. And see you next time.